The obituary initially brought on a sense of déjà vu. Jayla remembered feeling the same nostalgia nearly 12 years before at her mother's funeral. She remembered standing at the cemetery, between her sisters, guilty tears dampening her cheeks as she eyed the glistening cherrywood casket, its entire length adorned with an array of rich purple and pink lilies. She remembered the sun being excruciatingly hot as it beamed down on her all-black dress, and her poor sister, Jackie's voice hitching and wavering throughout the entire eulogy as she sobbed repeatedly. It was an emotional service, but Jayla remembered that part of her, a small part, was still bitter about what her mother had done to her. Because of that, she didn't allow herself to feel sadness. But that still didn't stop the guilt that clawed at the pit of her stomach as she stood amid the family who loved her mother dearly, knowing the truth behind her death. Jayla shook her head now at the memory. She swallowed hard as she stared at the woman's face on the paper, a mixture of anger and sadness, causing tears to sting the corners of her eyes. She could have been able to attend this funeral, even if it had been under such strict conditions. Of course, she wouldn't have been able to mingle with her family or ride in the family car during the procession. She would have been handcuffed and chaperoned by 2 armed deputies, who would have watched her like a hawk. The whole scene would have been embarrassing. But damn it, she had been looking forward to that day ever since she'd assumed the warden would sign her authorization to attend the funeral. Never had she expected Aunt Beverly's death, but to be honest, she had been so damn busy enjoying the prospect of being outside the jail walls after 14 months that she really hadn't given much thought to grieving. Her brother-in-law and on-again, off-again lover, Quentin, had sent a letter to accompany the obituary, and Jayla found comfort in the thoughtful gesture. He had been the only one to write her about Aunt Bev. Her sister Jackie had not been considerate enough to inform her of their aunt's passing. She would harp on that later. For now, she needed to see a certain prison guard. That bitch had some serious explaining to do. Jayla threw her feet over the side of the top bunk and hopped down off the hard mattress. Confinement had turned her once glowing skin ashen brown and had sharpened her soft features. Gone was the luxury of a gorgeous mane of hair bouncing at her shoulders. Jayla's natural tresses and high ponytail had become just as much a part of her as the hideous jail uniform.